This is the instructional video for number 5 on assignment number 177. So now we have to sketch the setup for the electrolysis of nickel chloride using graphite anode and copper cathode. Now, electrolysis is defined as a process that uses electricity to make useful products. So let's go ahead and set up for this electrolysis reaction. And electrolysis requires a battery because these reactions do not happen on their own. It needs electricity to force this reaction to happen. So let me go ahead and make the battery. So that's the positive terminal, that's the negative terminal on this battery. Now, electrons are pushed out from the negative terminal of the battery, and electrons are pulled in towards the positive terminal on the battery. And each end of the battery is connected to an electrode. And here we have a solution. And the type of solution that we're using is nickel chloride. So this solution will contain some nickel ions and chloride ions. Okay, so let's take a look at the chemistry that's going to occur at each electrode. So over here on the negative terminal, electrons are being pushed out into the electrode, and these electrons can be taken in by these positively charged nickel ions. So nickel ions will be attracted to these electrons. The nickel ion will take in 2 of these electrons to become neutral nickel atom, which gets deposited onto this electrode. So let's go ahead and write down the half reaction for this process. So nickel 2 plus ion takes in 2 electrons to become nickel solid. And in this process, we see that the oxidation number on nickel decreases from +2 to 0. So this is a reduction reaction. And the site of reduction is called cathode. So this is our cathode, and we're using copper for our cathode. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. Now, this electrode is attached to the positive terminal on this battery, and electrons are pulled in. And now these negatively charged chloride ions can lose electrons. So these electrons will be funneled into the battery, and when these 2 chloride ions lose electrons, they become neutral chlorine atoms. And chlorine is one of the diatomic gases. So 2 of these neutral chlorine atoms will bond together, and this can fly into the air as gas. So let's go ahead and write down the half reaction for this. So we see that 2 chloride ions become chlorine gas plus 2 electrons, because each of these chlorine or chloride ion donates or loses 1 electron. So the oxidation number on chloride ion increases from -1 to 0. So this is oxidation. And the site of oxidation reaction is called anode. And we're using graphite. I'm just going to abbreviate it as C. So that's the graphite anode. And so the 2 products that are formed in this electrolysis reaction are nickel solid and nickel solid. It can be used for many different things. In the US, we use nickel to make the nickel coin. We also use nickel for making batteries, and much of the nickel that gets produced, it gets used to make stainless steel, which is a metal alloy containing some nickel and small portion of chromium metal. And stainless steel gets used to make pots and many other cookware. And another product that gets made from this reaction is chlorine. And as you guys know, and many of you know how chlorine smells like, chlorine is commonly used as a disinfectant to clean drinking water as well as swimming pool water. Okay, so these two are the useful products that can be formed from this electrolysis reaction.